Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Lions Talk Live. It is Game Day Show Edition. And let me tell you, man, we've got a game that I think a lot of Lions fans are going to feel pretty good about. Feel like we're going to walk into this game, probably have a pretty good outcome. And I do think you are correct. But I also think we are all aware that the Cleveland Browns bring something into town. They bring a heck of a defense that we've got to pay some respects to. That front four, maybe you could even argue that front seven, might just be the best in the NFL. We're going to have to see what Johnny Morton, MCDC, and everybody else with the team has to have ready for us to be successful with it. We're going to break that down and really analyze this thing. I've got about 50 billion graphics to throw at you guys today for this game. We're going to do that during the main top of the day. Of course, we got 5 important headlines now to come your way. So before we get into that, before we get into the meat and the whatever you want to say of the show, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 68 subs away from hitting 14,800. So if you got a free second of time, it won't cost you anything. Reach on over, hit the subscribe button while you're hitting that button. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. We also try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but never least, if you are considering maybe some health changes, go to gensavagefitness.com. A lot of you guys know about 8 months ago or so, I really wanted to focus on getting my blood pressure, cholesterol, and everything else down. The wife put me on the peptides, something she's a big supporter of, natural peptides, not artificially produced peptides. Go check her out. I know a bunch of you guys have gone there, and apparently you text her or me about it and just say, hey, what they've done for you. You've asked me for it. There you go. Check out the website. Maybe there's something good in store for you there as well. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get the show rocking and rolling and going and kicking off with 5 headlines now. All right, we got 5 glorious headlines coming our way this morning. Detroit Lions elevate wide receiver against Browns, place safety on IR. Detroit Lions on SI by John Macaron with this one. This came out yesterday. I thought about going on air about it, but, at the end of the day, here's my thoughts on Jackson Meeks. I think he's a heck of a player, a developmental player. I think he's probably only really going to play special teams today, if at anything at all. Thomas going to be on the IR for a while. Most of you guys know he had an air cast on his arm. Probably going to take a while for that thing to heal. So what do? You bring in another special teamer, Jackson Meeks. I think he impressed a lot of Lions fans and the coaches during the preseason. With that being said, he was let go from the team, and you know what? Nobody else signed him. But what we do know is he's got some size, he's got some talent, he's got some abilities. He's going to make his way onto his first NFL regular season roster, and good for him. He's put in the work. He's put in the effort. Now, what do you got to do? You got to keep pushing forward, keep giving your teammates, your coaching staffs reason to believe in them. Maybe if this game really goes sideways, and yes, the Browns on the wrong side of a scoreboard, who knows? Maybe Jackson Meeks actually get some reps at wide receiver. The loss of Thomas, though, more often than not, fans, we don't pay attention to special teamers. Just not a big headliner. You don't get a lot of stats from them. But these guys make up a real big part of the team and your productivity. Although one could argue the Lions not wide receivers, but special teams haven't performed that well so far this year. Maybe Meeks can help change all of that. All right, NFL announces punishment for Detroit Lions. The heavy player story by Ann Erickson. Here's what I'll say. I didn't agree with this fine against Brian Branch. You guys probably already knew about it, but for those who didn't, let's bring you up to speed. Monday night, there was a bit of a fine levied on to Brian Branch because of what was ruled as a penalty, then reviewed and said, he kind of fell down. He didn't really target anybody's knees. In my opinion, this is one of the biggest BS fines you could throw out there. What am I talking about? In the third quarter, I'm pretty sure it was third quarter. Maybe it was the second quarter. But anyways, in the game against the Ravens, Brian Branch is coming up to the line of scrimmage to make a play, slips and falls down, and then just happens to hit a guy low right around the knee area. But replay showed it. Even the lead official or former lead official who's analyzing the game for ESPN said, yeah, that shouldn't be a penalty. I would appreciate them picking up that penalty. Obviously, they didn't. But Brian Branch, I'm going to just round up here and say, was fined $11,500 for unnecessary roughness for a low block. It was not a big penalty, but when he looked at the replay, ESPN football rules analyst Russell Yerk said during the broadcast that it should have been a penalty. So why is he being fined? Man, I don't know. But if I'm Brian Branch, I would have my representation or myself reach out to the NFL Players Association and probably protest it. Just for also those who don't know, when these fines happen, they go to a professional athletes foundation within the NFL. This is I guess it helps with different fundraisers that the NFL kicks money towards, or former players who are kind of down on the luck. I guess it'd be a good way to word it. So even though I'm Brian Branch, I'm not happy about the penalty. I could probably live with where those funds are being allocated to. Still, though, I would contest it and try to get that money back. All right, Lions believe offense can, quote, do anything we want, end quote. SI.com, story by John Macron. Most of you are aware that earlier this week, John Morton, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, put out some statements about his anticipation for the running game, the passing game against the Cleveland Browns defense. Yes, that defense is pretty dang good. Yes, John Morton doesn't care if it's good. His job, as he puts it, loosely worded, they're just going to go out there and perform. Lions believe that this offense can perform on anyone. It's always good to have confidence, whether you're an OC, a DC, players, coaches, whatever, but he wants to go out and prove it. Lions are focused on finding ways to get this running game really going strong against the Browns defense, because we all know it. Jared Goff loves himself some play action. He may be the best quarterback in the entire league at play action passing. And if you get both of those going, you know what else is going to get going? Your tight ends, your wide receivers, everybody's going to start carving up this defense if you can establish some running threat, which then sets up some passing attack and play action pass. The Lions talked to media throughout the week about this game. I'm not going to go through all the different comments. There's just too many. But Campbell more or less said, hey, we're going to be focused on doing what we do. And if you can stop it, great. Then we've got to do it better. That's some real coach talk, in my opinion. Everybody's got a plan until you punch them in the mouth. Somebody once said, what are the Lions going to do? They're going to try to punch the Cleveland Browns in the mouth and keep marching down the field. All right, next to the 5 glorious headlines now. Detroit projected to take a target strong-armed athlete as next quarterback project. The heavy story by Dave Holcomb. I didn't actually know a ton about this project or, possible Lions future draft pick, but it would make some sense. And I'm going to probably kill his name. Brethren Morton. He's a quarterback from Texas A&M. He's got some size. He's roughly 6'2", 6'3", can throw the ball. Let me tell you, he can rifle that ball like Matt Stafford all over the field. If you get some free time today as you're getting ready for the game, you might want to check out Morton. Morton is one heck of an option, and he's probably more of a late day 2, early day 3. And, I haven't watched a ton of film on him, just a little bit here and there, but watching some of his mechanics, etc., you might want to check him out because, yes, the Lions are going to be looking for ways. Excuse me, I think I said to Texas A&M, but it's Texas Tech. But Morton's performing well there. He's got some mobility. He's not Lamar Jackson or anything like that, but he's not flat-footed either. He can get out and run. He's got a heck of a cannon for an arm. He's got some real nice accuracy. That's one thing you do see, especially for the mid-range and deeper shots. Morton's got some real touch on the ball. He might not be a bad person for the team to consider getting. Goff, I think, does have another probably like 5 to 7 years in him if he wants to play in the NFL that long. I just think, he's escaped any kind of injury really throughout his career. He's got nothing but upside. He's got command. His game isn't really built around the physical aspects of playing football, the quarterback position at the NFL level. I'd say he's more of a, somebody who can throw you open and relies on his accuracy. So how soon will you need an heir apparent? I don't know, but I could also say if you want somebody to start developing, potentially be that person and just maybe have more out of your number 2 quarterback spot. This Thornton kid over at Texas Tech, you might want to go check him out. Add him to your list to watch today as you're getting ready for the Lions and Browns. All right, last of the 5 glorious headlines now. Discussion. Which Lions players are key versus Browns? SB Nation story by Jeremy Risman. It's a fair question to ask. I'm going to throw out my opinions to you guys. It doesn't have to be your opinions. My opinion would be the offensive line. Lions keep Goff and the running backs, churning, going forward, not getting hit in the backfield, not getting hit at the line of scrimmage. Then you know what? You're going to have success. I just don't, and spoiler alert for the breakdown in the main top of the day, I just don't see enough with this Cleveland Browns offense to really do anything against our defense. While we've talked all week long about the Browns defense, we're probably missing the boat on what the Detroit defense is. And it has become a top 5, top 10 defense in the NFL so far this year. The Browns do have a bit of a running game. They do not have a bit of a passing game. Even though I do like some of their weapons out there at tight end and receiver, etc., I just don't think they're going to put up big numbers against this Lions defense. With that being said, I also know that, that Browns offensive line ain't looking so good. So we saw 7 sacks Monday night. Could you see another big, 29 sack performance out of the Detroit Lions? I think it's possible, especially if that Lions offense can put up some points, which forces the Cleveland Browns to become more and more predictable. When trying to get ready for, this game prediction this week, I watched the Green Bay game, and Green Bay just really didn't look like they came into that game ready for the game, in my opinion. Give a lot of credit to the Browns for that, but I also think Green Bay was looking forward to other things. Watching some of their route structure, some of their play call, Jordan Love didn't look good on top of it. The other part of it, we mentioned it after we played Green Bay in week 1. In my opinion, that game came down to, a handful of plays. Jordan Love nearly threw the Lions back into the game during the third quarter twice, and I really thought you saw that Jordan Love throughout, we'll say the latter part of the second quarter and then the second half emerged for the Cleveland Browns. And that's why I'm not 100% sold on the Green Bay Packers because of the play of Jordan Love. When he's on, he's on. When he gets rattled, we'll think back last year to when we played them in Green Bay. He threw that boneheaded pick six. As a Lions fan, I was happy he did it, but if I'm a Green Bay fan, I'm not. So who are the key players for this game? I think it's the Lions offensive line, all 5 of them. And probably want to throw in the tight ends, running backs, because I don't see a situation in this game where Myles Garrett's ever going to be left in single coverage with Taylor Decker or Penei Sewell. I think somebody's always going to be blocking in or chipping, whatever it is, to try to put 2 people on him the vast majority of the time. Because of that, if we give Goff and the running back some time, you know what? We're probably putting up points. We're putting up points. Man, this thing could become a bloodbath. If we can't score, though, if we settle for field goals, that's where I think, the Browns could hang around in this one. All right, enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get out of the 5 glorious headlines now and head on over to the main topic of the day. We got something to talk about today. All right, like I said, we got a lot of graphics for you guys today. So let's bring up the first one, and I think I got 9 different graphics I'll set up for you guys. All right, first one. Detroit Lions pass offense, which is 5th, by the way, against the Browns pass defense, 18th. You would not have guessed that going into this game, and I'm going to throw out a bunch of stats at you guys while we're going through this. But the Browns pass defense, while it looks good, when you actually look at the numbers, it's not as good as many would have anticipated. Some of that is the Browns just get to the quarterback so much. They shut down the running game. You force teams to become pretty one-dimensional. And I think people just haven't seen, trying to be as fair and nonpartisan as I can be when analyzing this game. The Browns defense is legit. I don't care what stats you throw out there, how you dress them up. I think all 3 layers of the Browns defense are too legit to quit. I think the Browns, you're going to probably have no more than 2 seconds to throw the ball. But I'm also not the only idiot that gets this. Why do I say that? Well, let's go back and watch that Green Bay game, and I can't bring it up on there. Obviously, YouTube would beat me up pretty bad if I threw it out there. This is Jordan Love's passing chart for the game against the Cleveland Browns. You see in the upper right corner, one deep shot. Everything else is less than 10 yards. Sort of like we were talking about with Jared Goff's passing attack against the Green Bay defense week 1. Everybody was commenting that, hey, everything's a check down, check, microphone check. Well, you know what? That's what basically Jordan Love had to go through last week against the Browns. And I think you're going to see a lot of that early in the game from the Lions. Maybe the Lions, really go, say, 12 personnel, extra blocker on the field to try to slow down the Browns, to try to set up some deeper shots. It is a possibility. We're going to have to wait and see it. But I bring this up because the Browns defense, in my opinion, based on, I didn't watch every game every second of the game, but watching enough of it where I felt confident if you can give Goff roughly 2 seconds or slightly more, there are shots to be had down the field. And I do think John Morton's going to take advantage of that. We'll have to see if that is a part of the game plan. But game plan number 1, like we're talking about during the 5 headlines, you got to get the run game going. You get that run game going, and then this chart, the passing attack really starts opening up. The Browns, I don't have it in front of me, but I want to say about 95% of the time really only rely on 4 people to get to the quarterback. They put everybody else into coverage, trying to eat up the shorter intermediate passes. While they do a great job eating up the shorter intermediate passes, watching the back half, the last layer of the defense, that's where they can be got. We talked also this week breaking down some of the strengths of the team. That front 7, that front 4 especially, are monsters. Their safeties are not bad. Their corners are pretty dang good. But watching how they scheme people, often putting everybody on an island once you get past about 7 yards, I think someone like Jamison Williams, Tesla on the sideline. You saw last week's game, they ran some cover 2. And, Tesla beat him down the sideline, even though the throw wasn't there. And even the week before against the Bears, they did the same thing. I think those guys could have big games potentially because of how the Cleveland Browns, they play a lot of shell coverage, 2 high, some 3 high. They do play some Tampa 2, if you'd like to call it, where you give up the sidelines and crunch the middle of the field. I think those things can be had for this Lions passing attack. Now, that being said, you got to give Goff some time. Let's throw some more graphics at you guys, because by no means did I go cheap on the graphics today. I try to pull them all up. All right, now when it comes to Detroit Lions running back duo, you see what the Bengals did, the Ravens did, and the Packers did against the Browns. The Browns shut it down. They shut it down real well. A lot of that is because their 2 interior tackles can really crunch inwards, and they try to force everything to the edge. The problem with the Browns is those edges are athletic. They can get out and wide. They beat people when getting out wide, and they cause problems for everybody out there. Oops, let's bring this one back up. So, in short, I think if the Lions are going to have success, they're going to really have to believe those 2 young guards for us can get in there and try to open up holes in the middle. If you can't, you're forcing everything out wide. And because the Browns are so athletic at edge, linebacker, and cornerbacks, you know what? That's a hard ask to make. Because while I think our offensive line is vastly more athletic than it was the past couple of years, it's still a big ask for guards to consistently get out towards the sideline, effectively block against much shorter, faster, quicker guys who can set those edges and do a good job of it. It'll be interesting to see what John Morton comes up with to try to add to our running game, keep the passing game going, because that's where the game's going to be won. There's probably not a single person here watching going, man, that Lions offense, better put up some points, because that Browns offense, they're going for 30 or 40. If the Browns get more than 14 points this game from their offense, that's probably a real big victory for Cleveland. Cleveland, it's no disrespect to anybody on that team. They're just not that. They're not that team. So if we're not giving them short fields via turnovers, if the special teams hold up the punts, it will be hard for the Browns to score. You've seen that every week. They don't give up a ton of yards by any stretch of the imagination. But with also that being said, you know what? The special teams for them does perform from time to time fairly well to give them shorter fields. If you go back and watch the Ravens game, the Ravens actually don't put up a ton of yards against them. They just get short fields because of the Browns offense, and the Browns offense is that bad. Flacco has never been an elite quarterback, probably never will be an elite quarterback. But what we do know is, hey, if the Packers, the Bears, and the Ravens struggle to do certain things against Lions, you're pretty bros. It's a safe bet to say that the Cleveland Browns aren't going to rush for a ton of yards, even though they are like 15th in the league in rushing yards per game. The passing attack, you can only go down to 32 because there's only 32 teams in the league. And, obviously 31, you can't outpass yourself. My guess is, oh boy, their offense is so crepid. It's so bad. It's like watching a bad Division 24 NCAA team. And the NCAA only has a Division 1, 2, and 3. So I'm trying to throw shots and shade at them. Flacco is not a mobile quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. So could you just simply play what the Lions want to play? Man-to-man across the board, drop 7 in coverage, and say front 4, go get them. You're not having to worry about Flacco taking off and running, which would add a lot of layers to this defense, which we've been waiting to see forever. The Lions have gotten, in my opinion, last year and this year, much better against mobile quarterbacks. Kind of highlighted by last week's performance or Monday's performance against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. So my anticipation is Flacco, when he needs to throw the ball, is going to either see a healthy dose of delayed blitzes or just, hey, you got to throw it on 7 people. I would be okay with it being against 7 because you're probably getting a better opportunity for interceptions or knockdowns. I just don't see the Cleveland Browns receivers / tight ends beating us up there. What are your thoughts, Duke Crew? I've tried to throw a ton of information at you guys, so I'm sorry if it's a whole lot in a real short amount of time, but, I can't make this a 10-hour-long show. Browns run offense, the only real strength I found for them is their run offense against the Lions run defense, which is, you can see they're 4th in the league currently. I don't anticipate those numbers are going to change much. The Browns, like I said, their passing attack is putrid. I think that'd be a polite way to put it. There just isn't a passing attack there. Flacco likes to turn the ball over. He likes to throw some boneheaded passes. At this point in his career, I think he's playing for a paycheck. He understands after this game or the next game or whatever, if they don't win, the Browns are making a business decision. They're going to put one of those 50 young rookie quarterbacks out there to see what they've got in them. Browns have a future. This season is in the future. That being said, if they win today, the Browns are now 2-2. They're in the thick of their divisional race. They would have a reason to keep trying to win. They lose today. You could probably say, hey, it was a great win last week. Now let's start worrying about the future. All right, I've thrown way too much at you guys. Let's go to the Duke Crew comment section, see what you guys have to say. I'm going to throw out one last thing for you guys. I promised a bold prediction today. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. Let's go 30-14 against the Browns. I just think as the game wears on, the Lions just have too much offense. They're going to hit some plays, especially at home. They're going to, put the Browns in a less advantageous situation. Cleveland had a ton of, Green Bay had a ton of opportunities to put that game to rest last week. They just didn't take advantage of it. Again, like we talked about with week 1, Lions versus Green Bay, Lions had a ton of opportunities to make a game of it. They just didn't take advantage of it. The 50-50 plays were there. They just didn't go your way. Same with Green Bay last week. They took zero advantage of those plays. They gave that game away. Kudos to Cleveland for making him into those situations to forfeit a game, basically. But they did. And you know what? Lions are probably saying thanks to the Browns for that, but they're not going to return those thankful ways by giving them a win today. All right. Well, got a little tongue-tied twisted there, but Michael, let's see. Greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew! Exclamation point. Who's ready for some football? One pride. Yeah, we're about 2 hours away from the first NFL game of the day hitting today. And most of you guys know it's over in Dublin. So, hey, good job. JDC, morning. Oh, back at you. 9 drinks. Greetings, salutations, everyone. Game day, 100%. Good to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you in a hot second. Silver, good morning, Coach and everyone. Back at you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Looking forward to the Browns sound. Woo, I'll take that. Anymore? Good morning, Coach Dan of the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And hey, it's always good to see you, Henry. Let's see, Silver, Coach. A funny thing, the Cleveland Browns have a defensive lineman called Aiden Huntington. Hey, I did not know that. And something I did not know, and knowing is half the battle. Trey, what's good, everybody? Question mark. About to hit the Ford Field and tailgate for a while with family and friends. This should be a good one for the team. I know my neighbors are all rolling over there. Some of them are already there. Some of them get there and start tailgating at like 7:30 in the morning. The other ones, I think, take off to go over to Ford Field around 7, but it's about a 2-hour drive from where we're located. But either way, have a good time with family and friends there, Trey. Michael, Lions 42, Browns 14. Let's go Lions! Exclamation point. Oh, yeah, one pride. I'll take that. That would be a heck of a game. 9 drinks. I'm still wondering if Dan can see the future. On Friday, he said Green Bay hit Hutchinson low once, Bears twice, and Browns a little more. Was like, wait, we didn't play the Browns yet. Well, I can't promise anything, but maybe Dan O'Damas gave me some inside information. Jess, green sanitations, Duke Crew. How are we going to keep Myles Garrett off of JG's back? Question mark. That's the whole game plan right there. I would agree. And the Browns typically don't rotate him around. You know where he's going to line up. You know what you're going to have to do. It's real easy to put some stuff on paper and say, we're just going to block him with this guy and that guy. But Myles Garrett, man, he is the dude out there. He is awesome. And, Lions are going to have a game plan. It's just whether or not that game plan holds water. Mo, Trey, that sounds like a great plan. Thumbs up with an exclamation point. Silver Server. Now, didn't the Lions play the Browns with rookie Jim Brown in the 1957 NFL Championship game? I think so. Didn't check. I'd have to go back and check on that. I was not covering that game back in the day. Trey, hope so, Bo. We really got to really go once a year. Can't really do more than that with these prices and the travel time to Ford Field. We'll just have a great time today. Focus on today, my friend. Marcus, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Go Lions. Let's go indeed, my friend. Matt, good morning. Duke Crew. I got Lions 27, Browns 20. Hutch, Alex Anzalone, and Tidley getting a sack, and Branch getting his first pick. Woo! 3-1, baby. Hey, just win, baby, is what I'd like to say. Art, let's see. I see a defensive slugfest coming today with the game decided in the final seconds. Lions win by 7. I'll take that. As long as it's a victory, I'll accept it. JDC, Puff, woo! Coffee, and Lions Talk Live. Good start to your morning. Drake, Trey Tippin. We are about an hour and 30 from Ford Field. A lot of times we go and tailgate and then watch from some of the bars. Yeah, I know some people do that. The Sarge was telling me, they have sometimes put their tickets up for sale, or they have, I think, an extra ticket or something like that. And what they'll do is they'll start walking in Ford Field. They'll put it up for a price, whatever. He has informed me, and a bunch of you guys have reached out to me, that what people do sometimes if they want to go to the game, but they don't want to pay some of the normal prices, they go, they sit around, they tailgate, and then about 40 minutes before the game, they see prices for tickets that haven't sold start dropping exponentially, and they sit there and grab them. Of course, you got to be flexible with where you may want to sit, etc., but might not be a bad way to handle it. Bo, I hear you there, Trey. Enjoy what you can. Exclamation point. Well said, my friend. Silver Server. Anyways, Browns and Lions are linked from a glorious distant past and a very unglorious, more recent past. They often play in preseason, only teams to go 1-16. Jim Schwartz and now even Cornelius Lucas. Yeah, I'll go with that. For those who perhaps don't know, the Browns and Detroit Lions were the dominant teams in the NFL during the 50s. You could maybe even say that extends slightly into the 60s, but you guys get it, man. It's been a while. Until they better win, exclamation point, I'm going to the game. Go enjoy it, my friend. It'll be a great time for you at Ford Field. Until I live about 20 minutes away, so leaving around 9:30. Yeah, you'll get there. You have plenty of time to a little warm up, a little stretching, and get in there. Dave, if we can force some turnovers from the Browns, that would help a lot. Enjoy the game until the hunt. And Trey Tipton, well said. Yeah, if you can get some Ford Fields, get some easier scores, then you know what? That would just help with the outcome. Tell it, thanks. Bo, what time do you usually get into the stadium? We'll find out. Good morning, good people of the Dew Crew. The Lions and the Brownies in the kitchen, and the Brownies are going to get burnt. Hey, who doesn't like burnt brownies? Especially with some hot sauce. France, Jackson Meeks got moved up for the game. Thoughts? I think he'll help out on special teams, but that's probably going to be his role today. Maybe if it's a blowout, which I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think there's some possibility. The Lions handle their stuff, take advantage of different situations. Maybe they can have a comfortable victory. And then who knows? Maybe Meeks gets an opportunity to a couple snaps. I'll tell the Hun, parked at least 2 hours before game, minimum, better 3 hours. We'll take that into advisement. Silver. We have a day of grit before us. Yes, indeed, with an exclamation point. Silver. Now, if even after Morton's speech, the Lions are going to run through Cleveland, then they will start to get a reputation of talking the talk and walking the walk. Would be something indeed. Bo, do you think they are called EVH Guitar Tone the Brown Sound? We'll have to find out why they are called. Excuse me. A Lions Talk Live fan. Good morning, all. Back at you, Big Eddie. Browns are down both of their starting tackles on offense? Yeah, they are, man. Unfortunately for them. How many sacks are we going to get today? Yeah, the Browns aren't, I would assume they're not idiots. I mean, I would think they're going to try to avoid a pass-happy attack for that reason. Try to pound it on the ground, set up, shorter fields, etc. That being said, at some point, if the Lions put up points, you're going to have to pass the ball more and more. And we've shown in recent games, Lions can get to the quarterback. We'll see what shakes out. How many sacks? You know what? Dano Damas isn't here, but I'm going to go with 6 sacks today for the Lions. Silver, Franz Ferdinand, they need a special teamer since safety Thomas went on IR. Don't see Meeks catching pass before Tesla or Lovett. Yeah, probably true. 9 drinks, JDC. I bought this coffee, Whole Foods, called Focus. Has Lone Maine mushrooms in it. It's great. Thumbs up, but thought of you immediately. Okay, Lions Talk Live fan, double-digit sacks. Man, if they do that, wouldn't that be something? Silver, Hookadoo, got this feeling that nothing going to be easy in this one, not just another game. No, the Browns, they know they're basically playing for which way their season swings here. You go and get a win today, you're 2-2. I'd have to check their division, but you're amongst the division leaders. You lose today, you're 1-3, and it doesn't rule you out in that division at all, but you're probably starting to think about the future. Just how many future Hall of Fame players do we have on this team? I'll go right now. Probably way too early for some of these guys. St. Brown, Gibbs, if he keeps it up, would be in the consideration. Penei Sewell is. There's no way around that one. He is, and you probably throw St. Brown on there. Hutch, perhaps. I mean, he's close to that level. Outside of that, maybe Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. If there's somebody I'm not considering, let me know, but Taylor Decker's not going to be a Hall of Famer. He might be in the Lions Ring of Fame, but that's about it. Till the Hun, everyone calm down. These are 2 NFL teams. Happy if they get just 5 sacks. I'll take that. Lions Talk Live fan, 31-9. I'll accept that score. Silver, go figure Jess. JDC, 9 drinks, laughing. Bo, who knows who kicks more field goals, us or them? Hopefully us by a landslide, because if we get like 29 field goals, you know what? They're going to have a hard time keeping up. 9 drinks, 57-3. Well, that answers that question. Thank you for that. All right, what about the other 3 North games today? How do you see them turning out? I got to remember who I was playing. I know Pittsburgh's playing Minnesota in Dublin, Ireland, so I'm going to take Pittsburgh just because, that'd be best for us. Bears are playing Dallas. I'm going to take Dallas just because that'd be best for us, even though I think wait a minute, that's not right. Somebody's playing. I don't remember who the Bears are playing, I guess. Bears are playing Vegas. That's right. Bears are playing Vegas, so I'll root for Vegas. And then Green Bay is playing Dallas. That's what it is. And I don't think Dallas has a chance. Let's see. James Greeny, Salutations, Dan Aduku. Guess I'll be ready for that game today. I think we all will be, my friend. We're going to do after the Browns game against the Cheddarheads. I'd have to agree, Silver. But our grit wins, and we are at home, which is a big factor. Until then, Detroit and Minnesota win. Chicago and Green Bay lose. That would be good. Silver Surfer is strong at laughing. Hookadoo, Bo Bates is going to get the record today. Exclamation point. Oh, yeah. Let's see if they let him kick some 70-yarder. Michael D, who has it better than us? Nobody. Exclamation point. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, Green Bay versus Dallas. I can't root for either. Maybe it'll be a tie then. Henry Moore, I do think the Duke Crew are the Hall of Famers. We are the Hall of Famers, aren't we there, Henry? JDC, gotta love the coffee here at Lions Talk Live. Gotta love this here coffee. There you go. Silver, by the way, I watched that Browns-Packers game, and boy, Love was very uneasy, 100% there. Didn't really see that intensity to lead the team. I don't know if it was only frustration or if it's more. I've offered you guys my thoughts. I think Jordan Love's got all the talent in the world, but emotionally speaking, there are times every year he watched him be a starter where he just seems to implode, and that's a major red flag, at least for me as a scout. If there's people there with a lot less physical talent than that young man, but they're firmer in their emotional standpoints where they don't get rattled, and because of that, you get rattled in a pro sport or even collegiate sport, you'll fall apart. It doesn't matter how athletically gifted you are. And Jordan Love, again, referencing week 1 with us, I thought he had a real opportunity to blow that game a couple times. Unfortunately, Alex Anzalone doesn't hold on to the pick. The pick 6 by Brian Branch is nullified by a holding penalty. I mean, you guys get it, man. I'll root for Dallas because Green Bay being in the North. There you go. JDC, it sort of makes you go, Woo! 100%. Must be some good coffee. Silver Server. I won't be surprised if Packers start losing a few, or if they need it getting James back on track. They'll need him to get back on track. Hookadoo, Steelers and the Vikings on at 9:30 this morning in Ireland. Yes, it is. Ireland's a great place to visit, by the way. So, Steve Rogers, good morning, all. Back at you. Kurt Steele, what up, Duke Crew? What's up, man of Steel? Football for breakfast, baby! Exclamation point, says the Steel Man. Hookadoo, good morning, Professor Steele. George, good morning, all. Exclamation point. Good to see you, George. Pat, I'm glad. There we go. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff. I am too, man. I prefer those, even though it's nice sometimes to get some other days and times. Silver Sir, Hookadoo, I didn't know that. Vikings in Europe, very interesting could be. It is. Man, there are Vikings in Europe, by the way. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, go Lions, beat the Browns. I like the way you're thinking. Henry Moore, Hookadoo, I plan on taking my honey out of breakfast at that time. There you go. Go enjoy breakfast, my friend. Michael, just win, baby! Exclamation point. There you go. James, frankly, I'm tired of the talk about the Cleveland Browns defense as being the best. Last week, the Ravens said the same thing. They did. And look what happened. They gave up some points, didn't they? Let's hope that we repeat that process today. Nick, funniest game today will be Ravens versus Chiefs, because one of them is going to be 1-3, laughing out loud. Who would have guessed at the start of the year? I get, when schedules get released, we all do the schedule game. But now look at when we play, at least on paper right now, the Bengals, maybe even say with Kansas City. Those games aren't looking as intimidating as they were, say, in the preseason. Johnny L., good morning, folks. Back at you. Tori Apple, need to set up that play action passing. I concur. Dennis, what up, Doe Steele? Lionel, happy game day, everybody. Exclamation point. The Huskies might as well have worn Lions jerseys yesterday for the way those refs called the game for Ohio State. Shake my head. Let's wipe that brown grunk off our shoes today. There you go. Well said, my friend. Chuck, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. It's game day with a team that plays together to make it happen. Let's make it happen. Kurt Steele, Dennis, what up, Doe? Kurt Steele, be right back. We'll see you soon. Johnny L., I just woke up. Dang it. Hey, it happens. Made it in time for kickoff. Hookadoo. Johnny L., welcome to the morning grit. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. So small long. Don't care about anything other than winning. All that matters. Agreed. That's some coach talk right there. Susan, good morning, Duke Crew. Edward Gray, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. This will be a JMO game. Lions 28, Browns 13. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, win and stay healthy. We'll try to do just that. Anymore, last week was the warning shot to the NFL. Everyone should sit up and take notice. No matter their perch, we'll get you. We'll get to them indeed. Dennis, team needs to stay healthy. That's a bit of thinking there. Till then, wearing my black Montgomery jersey today. Enjoy the game. Enjoy Ford Field, man. Angie, good morning, Dan and the Duke Crew. I'm not worried at all. Lions win 32-17. Woo! I'll take that score. Johnny L. and Grit, morning to you, Mr. Grit Hookadoo. Pierce, missed yesterday. Watch the replay, Cam. Jordan would be amazing opposite Hutch. He would be, man. I think it would be a real nice rotational piece. And I don't think it would cost a ton to get him. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Jacob, morning all. Back at you. Pierce, can't depend on DDI once he comes back. Yeah, I'd say that's, could be accurate. Eric C., good morning, Dan. It's game day. Exclamation point. Back at you. It is a game day. Paperback fan, Gritty and Salutations, Duke Crew. Happy Sunday. Exclamation point. Lions win 31-10. I'll take that score. Until Hun wants more. He doesn't want that score. Let's see, Thomas. If Detroit has success against the Browns defense today, people will be talking about them like they did about the greatest show on turf. You're not wrong there. You put up a massive score today. All those people are saying, this, that, and the other thing about the Browns D. Have something else to talk about. Aaron C., I think a lot of screens to Gibbs and quick outs to Amon-Ra. It could be. Johnny L., we got this. Mark my words. Exclamation point. Marking the words right now, my friend. We do. Well, Henry Moore, you and the wife enjoy your bacon and eggs with a side of grit. Hey, who doesn't like the grit? 9 drinks. Switched his photo, by the way. Switch my picture for JDC and everyone who loves great coffee with Lions M. All right, we'll take some Lions M for sure. Pierce, Hookadoo, good morning, sir. Till the Hun making JDC. Tori Apple, I doth agree on more play action passing. We'll make those play action passes happen. Till the Hun, marking your words. Indeed. Silver Star Arrogancy didn't work with Green Bay. He caught something like 10 passes or 20 yards. Agreed with that. He did. Jacob, we need to continue the commitment to the run and see what shakes out after the run first. Yeah, I have no doubt they're going to test out the run early and often. Johnny L., I hate being late and also just waking up to my head ain't right. It happens, man. I have a Mountain Dew and they'll help out. Aaron C., Silver, the O-line was completely messed up game 1. I would agree with that fully. I figured as long as the Lions D holds up, we wear them down. Might be accurate. Hookadoo Pierce. Good morning. That's a huge problem with DDI. You just can't depend on him. Might be true. Might be too true. Let's see. Dre Day. Disappointed they aren't using Lovett as. Maybe in time they will. Maybe in time. Lionel. The Meeks shall inherit the turf. Ooh, that's well said. Silver Server. Hope they figure out sooner than later that they better start Monty and bringing Gibbs on the second series. Could be. Dre Day. Kick returner. Silver Server is smiling. Same old soup, just reheated, a little tardy, but present. Always good to see you in the chat, my friend. Jacob Montgomery has to be the catalyst to spark the run. Might be. Yeah, a physical player indeed. Pierce Hookadoo in depth at that position isn't great. Another body is needed, but I do foresee an undefeated October. I'll take that, man. We'd all take that. Johnny L. Rip to Ray Lane, longtime sports director for Channel 2. Indeed, my friend. Well said. Thoughts and prayers for him and the family. Or his family. Silver Branch is getting a reputation. They are looking at him. They probably are looking at him a little bit. Damien, good game day morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. It's almost feeding time. It is. Let's feed on some Browns. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Same to you. 9 drinks, mushrooms, and coffee. Who would have thought? Apparently somebody did. James, Brian Branch should appeal the fine. I would too. I think he probably will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just wants a write-off, tax write-off. Hookadoo is praying. William, I hope Brian Branch fights that. It's a bad call. Just shows how bad the league hates the Lions. Will it ever change? Ooh, that's a fair question, man, with a question mark. Hookadoo, morning, Lauren. Johnny L. Never William. James, I'm not worried about Cleveland's defense at all. I hope you are right, my friend. Derek, the NFL is just corrupt and greedy. Could be accurate. David, Brian Branch seems to be targeted by the NFL. I agree with that. It seems like it started last year and has moved forward to this year. Courtney, Johnny L. Sorry to hear about Ray Lane. Rip, 100%. Lionel, MCDC, filled about the low blocks at Hutch. He did. This is Goodell being himself. Probably accurate. Mary Smith, good morning. Dan, the Duke Crew, happy Sunday. Good to see you, Mary. Always something about Mary. Hookadoo, any word on Stephanie's fight yesterday? I didn't see it. So the wife and I, we had a day in Grand Rapids, and we came back, and there was a surfing music thing going on at the dog park we go to, so we kind of hung out that. That's why I didn't get to the Jackson Meek story earlier or anything else, but I don't know what happened. Good morning, Queen Mary, mother of grit. There you go. Thomas, James, you should have worried about Cleveland's D. It's the real deal. Lions will win, though, 27-17. I'll take that. Pierce, if we go for a quarterback in the next draft, I still think it's going to be the guy from LSU. Yeah, might be, man. Might be indeed. Silver Server, Mary Smith, good morning, dear. Mary Smith, good morning, Hookadoo. JDC, laughing out loud, 9 drinks. I'd never thunk that. Me neither, man. Me neither. Miles Mark, good morning, coach and crew. How you doing, Hookadoo? Nice to have a 1M game today. All right, we'll take that. Mary Smith, good morning, Silver Server. Thomas, note, Branch, because of his versatility and talent, made the most, quote, important player on the entire defense. I agree, man. He's basically a linebacker who can play cornerback, who can play safety. Good luck for replicating that in a science lab. Thomas, the quarterback from Illinois, is very impressive. Exclamation point. Yeah, unfortunately, too impressive. Beat USC yesterday in a nail biter. So the Hooker experiment cost dearly to Detroit. They could have gotten so many young, physical talented prospects. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it, man. I mean, the Lions hit on 80% of your draft picks, 30% higher than the league average. You miss one or two, happens. Pierce, the guy from LSU is just like Goff, but a little more athletic. There you go. Johnny L. Skip Goodell. James Thomas Donner, a few trick plays or put 2 tackles the same way for as Detroit has done in Baltimore. Yeah, I do wonder if we'll get some of that 12 personnel. Angie, 8 sacks today with an exclamation point. That'd be a lot of sacks. Queen Mary, I've been seeing the haters that was betting against the Lions are now going for the Lions today. The media is funny. Yeah, funny how they switch. Phil, you doing play-by-play, coach? I'm going to try to do it today. I can't promise it because Jen's got some friends. We were actually all going to go to the game. This is months ago. But for different reasons, they couldn't go, so now they're having us over at their house. I'll ask them if they care if I do the play-by-play because their son wants to actually get into play-by-play calling. I just don't have a firm answer on that yet, Phil, because I haven't heard back from them this morning. And, it's not even 8 o'clock, so I don't want to bug them too bad. Good morning, Miles Margaret. Yeah, we'll be able to see the Lions grit in motion early. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Thomas Server, As far as Hendon goes, he just needs more playing time. I think we're at hurt him for his first year, not being able to play basically in a preseason gives quarterbacks the entire game. Okay. Big D, the players union will appeal it. Get removed. Let's hope so. JDC, Hoops Tank without a fight. Let's hope we keep fighting. Big D, removed. Yeah, I knew we were going with that, man. I figured it out. Pierce, I think the Vikings should have taken him at the end of the first. All right. Detroit D, morning Duke crew, back at you, D. How is the D today? Hookah Mary, the media is a freaking joke. It can be. James, Lions D needs to take aways. Defense needs to score. Let's see if we can do that. Pierce, if Hooker were healthy his first year, we want to have slipped to the third. No, he probably would have been a late first, maybe early second. Thomas, 4 to 6 sacks. If Cleveland is down 10 plus in the fourth quarter, it will be Sacksville, Detroit. Yes, I concur with your assessment of the situation. 9 drinks. It's really strong like espresso, and it kicks you in the right way. There you go, laughing out loud. Thomas, check the like, y'all. Hit the like and subscribe if you would be so kind. Now, let's see. JDC 9 drinks is smiling with a thumbs up. Server. Oh, Thomas Pierce. Hooker didn't show me anything but despair. That was the only point. Okay, I'll go with that. Taylor Made Media, check. Microphone check, diggity check, indeed, my friend. Pierce, Silver, for sure, I got you, dude. I'm totally with you. I also hesitate to take your another quarterback project right now. We'll see if they even take one. Look at Dan. I have a question for you. Do you ever wear Detroit gear? I do. I do wear Detroit gear. Mary Smith, tick. I'm so excited. Let's go, Lions. Get done early. Let's see if we can put him to rest early. Coach Rock, good morning. Oh, back at you. Thomas, SS, I totally understand your take. Yeah, you're not wrong, but to me, he just did not play enough. And I don't like in preseason backups playing half a game. Yeah, it's tough, man. You got to earn your stripes. You got to earn your way. Most things aren't given to you. And unfortunately for Hendon Hooker, Lions just didn't see enough to keep him around. Hopefully he does well with somebody else. Exor Gray, I got our defense scoring this game. I think you could be right. They could do that this game. Dre Day, I still stand by our preseason is only an evaluation for the team's backups and practice squad to see if they make the team. Never meant to see if they are to start a team. I'll go with that. Mary Smith, good morning, Rock. Until the hunt, Hookadoo, as long as it doesn't mess up his hair. I like it. I like it indeed. Hookadoo, good morning, Rock. The grit is starting to boil. It is. Johnny L, I love it here. We love everything about being here, don't we all? Hookadoo, Attila is laughing. Johnny L, Sonic and Knuckles, Phil. Is Sanders still in Cleveland? Yes, I believe he is. Shador Sanders, yes. Mary Attila is laughing. Thomas, Tesla needs to work on creating separation. Agree with that. Exclamation point. All throws to him last game. He was covered like a blanket, even his 2 TT catches. He was indeed. Courtney, 2 D scoops and scores. I'd take that. And a pick 6. I'd take all that. Terrence, what do you? It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game indeed. Hookadoo. Last I heard, Phil, he is. Dre Day. Phil Sanders is only in Cleveland in paper, but on the team according to their owner. All right. Big Belly Lou. Cleveland Browns will put up a good fight, but in the end, Detroit Lions will win. Let's go, Lions. I like it indeed, my friend. Good to see you in the chat, as always. Troy, Browns have the best defense in the league. They do. Now, can we change that? Maybe with a good score, bit of offense today. Listen, Fisher, Lions grit will get the job done today. Exclamation point. Let's go, Lions. Thomas, if we can stick to the running game just like we did the last one, by the end of the third quarter, the defense will be gassed and will be able to stop us. But we will need Craig Reynolds. We'll see if he's active today. Silver Server, we always talk about how to stop a mobile quarterback, but nowadays almost all quarterbacks are mobile. Agreed with that, 100%. I think defense might start to forget how to play complete pocket passers, a sitting duck like a Dan Marino. Could be. JDC, yep, coach kickoff coverage needs to a smidge of work. How about that? Till then, they need to have a balanced offense and keep knocking on the door. We'll see if they do that. Until then, Meeks will have a kickoff return for a TD. That would help a lot, wouldn't it? Mary Smith, yeah, I hope he does good. Go Meeks. Go Meeks indeed. I hope he has a real good first day on the 53-man roster. Coach Rock, the grit is here this morning on game day. Great to see you all in here. Mary Hookadoo, Johnny L, and Miles Meyer. I'm all gritted up now just saying those names. Woo! I'll take that. Phil, good luck, Steph, in her bout. Yeah, I don't know how it went last night, so maybe somebody can Scooby-Doo it and look it up online. Dre Day, they need to put Meeks on kickoffs before Lovett. They need to cut Lovett. All right. William, I'm glad to see Meeks brought up from the practice squad. He was indeed. Eric, Lions 33-6. Mary Smith, Lions Talk Live is lit this morning. Grit is here for our team. 100%. It is game day, Mary. I think everybody, you could see it across the fan base. That win on Monday just seemed to add a lot of rocket fuel to everybody's beliefs, hunger for the season. You know what? You get a big win today, you get it next week, you keep that energy going. Chuck, we wore out the Ravens during the second half. I think Cleveland is going to have the same problem. We have the offense and defense to wear them out. To your point, Chuck, you look at having 2 90-plus yard drives. One of them took up basically the entire second quarter. And that's just a lot of time for the defense to be on the field and a lot of physicality coming downhill at them. I think you're 100% right. We wore them down. Sir, I think the Browns defense could be cited for assault for what they did to Jordan Love. Might be accurate. Thomas, just remember one thing, guys. The only games we lost all last year were at home. It is true. Well, we changed that already this year. JC, greetings, sanitation, coach and crew, exclamation point. Eric, the question is what happens when the Lions do the weak teams? They go out there and score 40 on them. We'll see if they can. Although 40 on this defense, who knows? Maybe their offense messes up the Browns offense and maybe it helps out. But I do have a lot of respect for that Browns defense and their defense coordinator. Coach Rock, the whole Duke crew is bringing the grit on game day. So watch out, Browns. And if they need to, can put this day's grit show on the chalkboard. We'll see if we can put it on the chalkboard. Miles Meyer, how did Coach Rock going to control the game? Let's control the game. Dre Day, 27-13, Lions win. I like the way you're thinking. Crayon eating, the Browns have no passing attack, and you can't run through those big boys in the middle. Lions will pitch a shutout. Let's pitch it. Wouldn't that be something? JDC will be at camp listening to the Lions game on the radio because radio killed the video star. Yes, they did. Mary Smith, 28-21. I'll take that. Joseph, 30-13, Detroit Lions. Brady, no Jared Goff for Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think he'll make it, man. I think he will make it, especially if he gets the Lions a Super Bowl. Okay, Coach Rock, living in Toledo, it's a mixed bag of Lions and Browns fans. I'll have my Lions flags out today. Oh, yeah, James. We'll see if Shadur Sanders plays if Falco goes down. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Pierce Drady, if Goff gets a ring, he's probably in. I agree with that. And, if he keeps doing what he's been doing, he might not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he'll get in. Joseph, Dan Marino's in the Hall of Fame? Yes, he is. Dan the man. Drady, Pierce, I feel that way for all the current players on this team, though. All right, Carrie, good morning to all my Dew brothers and sisters in there. Mary Smith, Hookadoo, make sure you hang it high, show your grit. There you go. Mary Smith, Carrie, well, I'm not a brother, but good morning. There you go. Hookadoo, Carrie, good morning. Hookadoo, your wish is my command, Mary Smith. My pride runs deep, grit will win. Yes, it will. Carrie, good morning, my queen. Carl, let's Dan and the guys cook. Well, let's let them cook all over the Browns. JDC, Hookadoo, yep, let's make Lions Talk Livers proud. Dre Day, there's no other household names for the Detroit Lions outside of Detroit besides of Goff. The talent Sewell has, not many football fans have heard of him. Probably an all offensive line thing. Yeah, I'll go with that. Have not. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, man. JDC, Dre Force rocks and he rolls. Remember, Dan O'Donnell predicted he'd get 7 yards rushing today. Dre Day, I'm rocking my blue Sewell jersey today. Pierce, the other one I have is a black Frank jersey. The Rebel, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke crew. Back at you, Johnny V. Hello, Blue Mountain Dew! Exclamation point. Woo! Yahoo! Yahoo indeed. Hookadoo. I think I'll wear my Godfather jersey today. There you are. All right. The Rebel. Good morning, everyone in the Duke crew land. And back at you. Ezra Gray, Goff plan to roll out JMO deep. I'll throw it to him deep early and often. Hopefully it's very successful. Mary Smith, I'm wearing 97 today. Go enjoy it. Dre Day. I never bought a quarterback jersey since Charlie Batch and regretting that one. But Jared Goff is worth the buy. Enjoy it, my friend. Have a good one. Broski Bear, shout out Dan and the Duke crew, exclamation point. Woo! Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to mess with. There you go. Yes, indeed. Man, I miss them. Thomas, being 1-3 would hurt Cleveland's absolutely, but it's not the end of the world if they go 2-6. Yikes. Yeah, in their division, especially right now, especially if some of the other teams lose, they'd have still a chance. Pierce, as a former offensive lineman, I only get the jerseys for the big uglies. There you go. Coach Rock. Fly the Lions flag high, Hookadoo, and someday soon we'll be taking my granddaughter to Cedar Point for some fun. Woo! Enjoy the Cedar Point. The Rebel, time for Cleveland to enter the Ford Field Terror Dome. There you go. Man, the Silver Dome was the Terror Dome indeed. Thomas, no one on this team as of today will be a Hall of Famer. The closest right now would be Panay Sewell. And if he wins the Super Bowl, possibly, quite possibly Goff. Yeah, I think him, St. Brown have a pretty good chance. Trey Day, the big boys are always overlooked, but the big pieces of the offense, no doubt. They are big pieces, no doubt about that. Johnny V, the boys are back in town, back to beat the Browns. Oh, yeah, with an exclamation point. Andrew, I will be sleeping during the game. I work nights. Well, hey, watch it on replay, my friend, and have a good time with it. Get some sleep. The Rebel Lions are hungry for the Brownies. There you go. Dre Day, win or loss doesn't matter for Cleveland. They aren't making the postseason and are only playing for future contracts. Could be accurate. Hookadoo, Sweet Rock, I'll have a great time. Have a great time with an exclamation point. Fred, greetings, salutations all. It's game day. Woo! One pride indeed. Yes, let's have a little pride in the D. The Rebel, last week was a kind of rough game for the Brian Branch. It was. He had some moments, though. The Rebel, I just like Richardson as our backup quarterback. Is that true? I did see some people speculate about Anthony Richardson being traded to the Detroit Lions. My question is, man, is why? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could bring him in. Maybe they feel like, he could grow and develop, but he's going to want to be a starting quarterback. And at least for the next half decade, unless Goff decides to depart the league early and retire, I just don't see that happening. Henry Moore, have a glorious day and a Lions win. Woo! Go have a great day, Henry. Kerry, predict Brian Branch balls out today and has one heck of a game. I concur. The Rebel, Duke Crew, smash all the buttons. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you guys can, hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff. Johnny V, the Godfather has our offer you can't refuse. I like the way you're thinking. Amy, what do you got? Good morning, Dan, the ultra fabulous new crew. Exclamation point. Are you ready for some football? I think we're all chomping at the bit for it. Bo, I will be with Micro Mike for the game. Unless coach doesn't play-by-play, I usually surf around regardless. Yeah, I got to hear from the people whose house we're going to. I just don't want to be rude to them. A lot of people might not be okay with me sitting there the entire game calling out the plays, so we'll see. Dre Day, the Rebel at the moment, Richardson is still at the Colts. There you go. Mary Smith, Amy, yes, good morning, dear. The Rebel, thank you, Dre Day. Hookadoo, Bo, Ant-Man does a live broadcast last week. He did a good job with the live broadcast. There you go. Check him out. Anthony does good work, man. Rebel, definitely lit, Mary. The program, Lions 42, Browns 17. I'll take that. Bo, Hookadoo, I have yet to pop into Anthony this year. And I have in the past. He does a great job. Yeah, puts in a lot of effort, don't he? Coach Rock, I'm ready for some football. Amy, it will help me relax and going to be all day today, but the Lions will be number one game to watch. I concur with that. Mary, everyone have a blessed day. See y'all in the morning. Go Lions with a win. With a win indeed. Egon, shame we play the same time as the Eagles Bucks, but I'm going to be a good game. Yeah, maybe flip over from game to game from time to time, maybe during commercials. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Coach, Lions are surrounding the dog pound. We smelling blood. Lions 48-13 over the Browns. I'll take that. Bo, Dosa Dion, Will Rock are two I have dropped in on this year. Lots of guys doing Lions proud. Yeah, 100%. Everybody's putting forth their efforts. Hookadoo, talk to you on the Victory Monday, Mary Smith, 100%. I will have the post-game show. That I will do. That I can say 100%. Coach Rock, Loomis needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, and he's won 2 Super Bowls, I think. Loomis Brown, unfortunately not with the Lions. The Rebel, Goff, definitely Hall of Famer. Lion-O, I see Gabriel playing before Shador. Could be. Coach Rock, see you in the morning. Mary, have a great day. There you go. Carrie, happy trails. Have happy trails. Have a great game day. Stay safe. Go Lions. Devour your brownies. I concur. James, how do we get the Lions to come out to compete for 60 minutes? I think they'll just do it, man. I think they're pretty focused on winning. Kerry, it's a 50 burger. I'd like that. Coach Rock, don't remember Marino winning a Super Bowl, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Goff is putting up numbers year after year, too. He is indeed. The Rebel, I don't want a Richardson. They're okay. Miles Meyer, Roar Lions UK guys will be live streaming game. Yes, they will. Miles Meyer, one pride worldwide. Mark, go Lions. Lions win 30-17. Vernon, Coach, time to roar and roar loud. We will chew on the dog. Let's chew them up. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions victory. Back at you. Enjoy the rest of your day, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Exclamation points. Woo! Hey, go enjoy the game, my friend. The Rebel, happy trails, Duke Crew. See you next time. We'll see you next time. Pat, 31-17. Lions win 6 sacks, 1 INT. I'll take that. Johnny V, Sonic and Knuckles are better than the rest. You might be accurate there. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I may or may not have a live cast for the game. I will definitely have a post-game show. I'll see you when I see you. Go enjoy the game. Have some good time with family and friends. Do something kind for someone you don't know. And if you would be so kind before departing, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care. See you on the next time on Lions Talk Live.
Excuse me, sir, would you...
Donations to the Reverend Moon.
Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness. How about Buddhism? Help Jerry's kids.
Oh, yeah.
Scientology.
Or nuclear power?